Like those things that Salano and Sam are saying, those things about performing, you know, is because maybe we're not maybe real with ourselves or real with our partners. It also stems from the fact that we just had, we introduce our partners item to your Christmas where yeah, they really have to perform because they're impressing a lot of people.
Yeah, there is a time, what we're saying is true. People overperform because they are not sure of the environment. If you're at home with the people, and with the environment you are in, you'll just be yourself. And by the way, consistency builds trust. If you're consistent in your behavior, in your actions, and consistency here means you align with what you believe in. Your belief system and your actions, when they align, you become a consistent person.
So what happens when there's conflict between your belief system and what your husband's, you know, people practice?
What happens is, what makes them to behave so is fear and uncertainty. There is a time my brother brought his girlfriend. He had been bringing them, but now he brought one that was supposed to be married.
That's bringing them.
Yeah, so
how many were there before?
He was struggling with the relationship. So he was lucky to find a lady who was supposed to become a fiancé. And this lady came and began to perform. She was just overextending herself all over, all the time, always cooking chapatis. She's struggling with cooking chapatis. She's doing too much washing of plates. I sat her down. I tell her, baby girl, relax. Here at home, we are so authentic girls. You know, you don't have to cook all the, I am a good chapati cook. I'll help you.
Yes, yes,
my brother doesn't have to marry you because you can impress us.
Yes, yes.
So I told her, relax and be yourself. You know, if you are yourself, you'll enjoy the stay here at home. So I think most people, they don't agree with their partners before they go there. Once you've aligned with your partner, you set goals, ground rules. How much can you take? How long are you going to take there? And also tell your partner, how much should I take from your people? What do I expect? What is the family dynamics of your place? Do you have traumatic scapegoat kids who will come drunk and start singing from the gate and begin, what should I expect? So when you are aligned, when you come here as one front, a couple, you are shielded. Anything you do, in fact, you will just be doing bare minimum. You don't have to prove anything, and don't extend yourself because you will be emotionally exhausted.
Okay, all right. Sam, what are the benefits of having such a robust, you know, setting of a family where the in-laws, there's no performance, there's no acting, everything is real and authentic? What are the benefits of having such, you know, an atmosphere?
The beauty of it is, first of all, if you, let me use the word land, in a family that has good values, it's very beneficial to you because different families are raised differently. For example, in my family, sisi tulikuwa kimandazi, you know, you wake up in the morning, no greeting, I give you things, you don't say
like
thanks. Ni ile tu, tumezoea that familiarity. So when I remember before I married my wife, I visited her home. And the main purpose I visited her home was to get to relate with her family. So I didn't go as a boyfriend. I went on a different front.
How did you go if not like a boyfriend?
Her dad was sick. Her dad had cancer.
Okay,
so I went home as a pastor to...
But you were a pastor?
Yes, I am a pastor.
Even at that time? I'm saying at that time.
So I went as a pastor to pray for him. But me, I knew I'm not going to pray for him. My main agenda is to get to know them, to get to interact with them, to get to see whether these are people who will sumbua me in the later, or they're people I can easily relate with. Now, I remember the first time...
But wait a minute, don't you have a question, Salano? He went to pray, but he's saying he really did not go to pray.
Prayer was not the aim.
Oh my goodness, how will your wife feel about it?
She knows about it.
Oh, she knows
actually, we had discussed with her about it, so I knew.
So you're killing two birds with one stone.
It was the best gift actually I gave the father. So what happens is we go and the dad is unwell. Actually, he came downstairs. He was very sick, but that day he actually came down. The mom was so shocked. The mom was so surprised. So now we sat out with the dad, and you know, he was a professor of philosophy. So he's a man into knowledge and things like those. So we got to interact a lot in the process. We talked. We nearly forgot to pray.
That prayer.
It wasn't the agenda.
talked for very long,
Okay.
and we were able to really gel so well. So even by the time the dad was dying, which was the year after, we had created a very strong bond that even the dad had mentioned it to the mom that this one is not just another son who is coming to this family.
Yeah.
This one is an authentic son
Okay.
that really gels well with the family. So some of the values, for example, for me, I learned from my in-laws. I remember my wife's mom once sat me down and told me, you see, there are 3 things that you need to learn in life. Number 1, learn to say I'm sorry, learn to say I forgive you, and learn to say I love you. And thank you.
wow.
Yeah. So those are
Okay.
things in my family, we took them for granted. Because if
So
you
you were
give-
hearing these things for
they used to be there, but
Yeah.
they were not so
Pronounced. Yeah.
So now she comes and tells me that these are very important things that will make you an important person in the society.
Yeah.
So now, slowly by slowly, I learned how to say thank you. I learned how to say I'm sorry.
Okay.
I learned how to say I love you authentically. Na sio ile ya kuweka sura. So that now even when we come and meet with the family,
Yeah.
and you give me something, I will easily say thank you.
Okay.
Because now it's something that I've learned. And it's
Yeah.
important to, as I said earlier, when you're learning or building that relationship, learn to get those to positive values.
Yes,
And
yes.
now incorporate them in your own life, because it will really help you in the long run. Because the fight comes in when we have certain mannerism, we have a certain way of living in my family, then you have come into this family,
Yes,
and
yes,
you are not matching
Yes.
our values.
The
For example, a
values.
very good example is when you have 2 people who are getting married. One is from a very rich family, and one is from a very poor family. This one, there will always be a struggle. More so when let me put it on the man's side, when the man's side is from a very, let me not say very poor family, but not very
Not so
well-off
well to
family.
do, yeah.
Then on this other side, ni wale masonko. When you come to their homestead, there are like 15 cars, there are 5 swimming pools, and then you are from Kibera. And so there's usually so much pressure when it comes to such families. I've seen it personally, and there's a friend of mine we were talking with the other day, was telling me he wants to walk out of his marriage because of that pressure he was getting from the in-laws, because now the wife's family is really pressuring him to live a certain life, to live in a certain manner, to dress in a certain way, to talk in a certain way, fine dining, using the fork and knife. Him is not used to that. So when he goes for meetings, he prefers not to go completely, because now he feels nikienda kule naeza choma. But one of the things I learned when it comes to such scenarios, just learn. Just learn for the sake of not pleasing them. Learn for the sake of upgrading you.
Of upgrading, yes, I like that.
So the values that you get from your in-laws are usually to upgrade you. God never puts 2 people together just because they need to be together.
Yeah.
He puts 2 people together because there's what my wife has that I don't have.
All right.
And there's what I have that she doesn't have.
I
So
like that.
just learn the values, take the values, and use them as an upgrade
for yourself,
not to please anyone.
Just because you can actually
And things
upgrade
like financial management.
Yes,
Kuna
there's
watu
so
hawajui
many
vitu kama
things.
hizo.